Hey, this is Evan Deal, and welcome back to Living in Indianapolis, Indiana. We are so happy to have you here today, and we are going to explore Noblesville via map. We're going to double click into it and check out all of the hot spots, the real estate scene, neighborhoods, points of interest, anything you could want to know about Noblesville, Indiana. But before we get into that, I need you to hit that like button on this video, smash the subscribe button, and ring the bell so that you are always kept in the loop on everything happening in and around Indianapolis, this beautiful city that we love, the 317. You want to be in the know on everything that's happening, and you're going to see it here on this channel. So hit all the buttons and then let's dive in. So let's dive into the map and take a look around Noblesville. First, let's take a look at where it sits. So here's Indianapolis, our beautiful circle city. And we got to go way up northeast here to Noblesville. So Noblesville is sort of on the outer fringes of the suburbs of Indianapolis. It sits in Hamilton County. It's just above Fishers. They're tied at the hip together, and it's east of Westfield. So if you've seen other videos, here's Westfield, here's Fishers, here's Carmel, Hamilton County, and here is Noblesville. So let's take a look. You can see the outline here. It's a little bit of a funky outline. That's all good. Let's dive into some of the different areas of interest. So we have the Noblesville downtown. And in the downtown, you have all the wonderful places we talked about in our pros and cons video. You've got the Hamilton County Courthouse. Let's take a look. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's take a look through some of the photos for that. Man, truly one of a kind. And Indiana has a bunch of beautiful courthouses, but Hamilton County one is really special. We got Rosie's, Erica, Sid's. We have Noble Coffee and Tea. You have Mateo's. It's just all sorts of amazing local businesses in downtown. You know, let's drop down into downtown. You can take a look for yourself. Really cool. Just a really neat downtown feel. There's a courthouse. So you get an idea of what it looks like. Definitely still some historic charm here. You know, I've mentioned it before, but Noblesville is where new and old meet. So there's everything you could want that's modern, and there's plenty that's historic and has not lost its charm. All right, so let's dive out a little bit. Let's look at some of the other spots around Noblesville. For some of the entertainment spots, you've got Ruoff Music Center. This is where big concerts are held throughout Noblesville. So we get all sorts of A-list music talent that come here, big outdoor concerts. It's just a great venue. So beyond that, we've got Morse Reservoir up here. You can see we got the southern half here in Noblesville. Top half belongs to Cicero. But Morse Park and Beach, great place to hang out, summer vibes, and just boating, water sports, even kind of beach activities. But just a really neat reservoir, places to play, places to hang out. One of the major water spots around Indianapolis. Let me touch on that real quick. You've got Geist Reservoir here, Eagle Creek here, and Morse Reservoir here, just to give you the lay of the land. So in addition to that, we'll go back into Noblesville. We've got a couple major parks. You have Forest Park, just off of downtown. Got everything you could want in a park. You have the Potter's Bridge Park, which has the only covered bridge in Hamilton County, which is kind of neat. Indiana is known for having covered bridges, and they're all just really cool looking. They're historic. So Potter's Bridge is where you can go to see one in Hamilton County. Just up from downtown, we have Noblesville High School. So you can see lay of land. We've looked at our parks here. We looked at Morse Reservoir. We looked at downtown. Here's Noblesville High School as well, which according to the school rankings is one of the higher ranking high schools in the state, one of the higher ranking school systems on the whole in Noblesville, which you see throughout all of the different cities in Hamilton County. That's a consistent theme throughout all the four of the major cities there. And kind of wrapping up what we're looking at for some of the entertainment, let's check out the Hamilton Town Center. So it's on the sort of the outskirts compared to the rest. So you have 69 here, which is the major interstate that takes you up. and then 37 is the highway that'll take you into Noblesville. You have 32 feeding from Westfield, 38, but 69 is going to be the major interstate that takes you up from 465 around Indy, and just off of there, right on the border with Fishers, you've got the Hamilton Town Center. So just a really nice mall. There's just tons of stuff you can do there. It's a cool, sort of outdoor walkable shopping area. So definitely recommend checking it out for any and all of your shopping needs. But that's a very high level look at Noblesville. And now let's dive into some of the real estate around Noblesville, some of the different communities. But just keep exploring this awesome place to live. All right, now let's take a look at the real estate around Noblesville. And Noblesville is a hot real estate market. As with the rest of the cities in Hamilton County, you definitely see tons of transactions, tons of things moving. Like I mentioned, there's all sorts of homes too. So, as I always say, depends on what neighborhood you're going to be in. It depends on your price. So, the median home value you're going to see in the threes and the fours throughout Noblesville, but there are neighborhoods where you're going to see above $1 million. Let's take a look here. You've got Sagamore. It's one of the luxury communities within Noblesville. You see 1 million. Let's take a look at some of the pictures. Big house. Gotta get that grand entrance, and you'll see this throughout the community. So here's another one, 1.2. Let's take a look. As I mentioned, in the pros and cons video, your money goes a lot further in Indianapolis in general, but in Noblesville as well. So you can see this is a big house. This is a really nice house for 1.2 million. In other areas, you're going to be paying a lot more for that, depending on where you are. So that's Sagamore. But on the whole, you have a lot of communities in the threes and the fours. Let's take a look here. We've got 315, we've got 350, and you'll see that throughout. So let me move over a bit to the west. In the west, you're getting a little closer to, closer to Carmel, closer to Westfield on this end. So you've got 508, we got 464. Here's a 735. Let's take a look. So, only 8 days on market. And yeah, this is in Lock Haven, which is one of the kind of sought after neighborhoods in terms of the higher end side of things in Noblesville. Let's go ahead and move north. See the fours, fives. Now we're getting closer to Morse. So you see 550, you see 570. Let's dive in. Yeah, you've got Albany Ridge. So you're going to see a bit higher end communities up this way. Once you get to Morse Reservoir, it's a real scattering of different types of properties. So here, let's look at this one, 1.3. So, or 1.25. So this is in South Harbor, but it's on Morse and currently pending. And you can see this is just like the homes that are on Geist Reservoir, very unassuming in the front. And then when you get in the back, you really see a much taller, wider house. So you can see this actually a very large house, but it's a little unassuming in front. And you see this on the reservoirs around Indianapolis. You can see they've got a private dock leading right down there. And so let's take a look at a couple of the other ones. You have a 1.35 here. Similar type thing where it's a bit unassuming in the front and then it opens up in the back. Let's take a look at one more. We have an 800K here directly on the reservoir in North Harbor. Only 6 photos on this one. You can see wide house. So you get this on all the reservoirs around Indianapolis. Now there are some more affordable options around Morse. Here we have a 320, we have a 350, 390. So unlike Geist, which is pretty much exclusively only luxury homes, on Morse there are different price points available in the Morse area. So let's dive into the rest of Noblesville. You've got downtown, you're looking in the 2s, 3s, 4s, depending on the house. So you have 205, 237. These are going to be smaller homes in downtown Noblesville. You go just a little bit north, you're in the 4s, 3s, 5s. So it depends on the house, depends on the community. That's what I always say. So 3.99, 3.6. And let's dive out a bit on the east. And yeah, you're back in the 3s, the 4s, and that completes it. So you can see there's a whole wide variety of different places in Noblesville. There are luxury pockets throughout the town, but you don't see necessarily as many total luxury communities as like Carmel, just across the way in Hamilton County. But there are definitely still luxury communities within Noblesville. You see a variety of things in Morse Reservoir. You have some that are true luxury builds. You have some that are on the smaller side as well. So a variety of price points. And on the whole, you see mostly homes in the threes and 400,000s throughout Noblesville. Now let's run down some of the stats for Noblesville, Indiana. In population, Noblesville is just over 75,000, up 1.7% from the previous year. And that's actually up over 7% in just the last 5 years. And it's one of Indy's fastest growing suburbs. In fact, Noblesville is the 10th largest city in Indiana and the county seat of Hamilton County. In terms of school rankings, last year Noblesville ranked number 23 in the state for the entire school system and number 10 in the Indianapolis area, according to niche.com. Cost of living index is 98, which is 2% below the national average, meaning your money goes further in Noblesville. Unemployment rate, 3.4%, which is well below the national average of 5.3%. And the crime rate, which is 61% below the national average, and is below the state average as well. Median household income, $102,000. The median home price is $365,000, up 1.9% from 2024. And the home market in Noblesville, as well as the rest of Hamilton County, is competitive. Some of the top luxury communities include Sagamore. It's gated, tied to a Jack Nicklaus designed golf course. Homes typically $500,000 plus. Lockhaven, modern and upscale. It's near parks and schools. Homes range at $450,000 plus, and it's known for spacious lots. Harbor Trees, exclusive lakefront near Morse Reservoir. Prices start at $600,000. Some exceed $1 million. Thanks for joining us on today's episode here on Living in Indianapolis, Indiana. We loved going through Noblesville with you. And if you could, before you leave, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so that you always stay in the loop on everything that's happening here in the Circle City, in the 317, in Indianapolis. We go all around, look at the landmarks, the communities, everything that makes this city special, and we want you to be a part of it. So be sure to hit all the buttons and then come and join us for the next one. I'm Evan Deal, and this is Living in Indianapolis, Indiana.